Me contains my own speculative opinion on the market. As such, this content should not be used to make trading or investment decisions. The market is extremely volatile, and the decisions you make should be based on your own due diligence. If you should make a trade or investment decision based off the speculative content that we provide, this disclaimer legally relinquishes me from any and all responsibility. Past market performance is not indicative of future market results. Trading in any market is extremely risky, and you should conduct your own research and analysis prior to making trading or investment decisions.
Well. Welcome back, everybody, to another beautiful Wednesday night / Thursday morning. However you perceive the day is what the day is. Welcome back to Blackfire Technical Analysis, and a lot of changes need to be made from my side. I've had a pretty rough month. I want to be open with everybody that's a part of the community, just because, again, this is all for the benefit of making money in the stock market, the cryptocurrency market, so on and so forth. So a couple of changes have been made on from my side as far as strategies and the complication of my own charts. I've basically vastly simplified how I'm approaching technical analysis right now. I actually spent, 3.5 hours last night readjusting my charts, eliminating indicators that I do not need, getting rid of things that I think are overzealous on my own trading views. So a couple of things have been changed from my perspective. Very bad month. I've had one good trade this month. It's been a piss poor month from my perspective. I haven't taken that many big losses. It's just the L's are continuously stacking up. So I figured it was time to, keep it simple, come back to the basics, reevaluate my perspectives, reevaluate my own psychology, and make some moves based off of that. I've kind of taken a little bit of a step back from actually opening positions, while I am still kind of reconciling the damage that has occurred to my account over the past month. And I'm going to show you guys some of the results today. I do think it is a lot simpler. It is a lot easier for my eyes to see. I am a visual person, so the colors, if you guys can't see the colors on the charts, just give me a heads up. I will make adjustments, but the blue boxes, I do like the darker blue boxes. Visually, it appeals to my senses. So again, making a couple of changes, taking out a lot of indicators that I felt were unnecessary for my analysis, and I think that's how I'm going to rock it from now on. I might even simplify it further if I deem it necessary at any given point in time. So please bear with me. While I'm not actually trading right now, I'm actually just kind of taking a step back, taking a breather, realigning my own psyche, realigning my own psychology, and getting my shit together. But for now, we are going to conduct analysis based off of the new chart layouts that I do have set up, and hopefully I can read it. So without further ado, we'll go ahead. We'll start off with Mr. NASDAQ as usual. And as you can see, I've eliminated plenty of indicators, gotten rid of historical volatility percentile. I've gotten rid of, I think, 4 or 5 moving averages, as I am starting to consider using my main strategy. Main strategy being and it's a very simple strategy. I've done an instructional video. If you have not seen the instructional video, check it out. It is the 21 exponential moving average strategy. You only need the 21 for the strategy. I'm using a couple of other moving averages just for a show of confidence as far as positions are concerned, and that's kind of how I'm going to rock it. Obviously, in confluence with horizontal support and resistance, RSI and stochastics. I've gotten rid of volume. I've gotten rid of volatility percentile. I've gotten rid of so many indicators, and there'll be a couple of new indicators that will be featuring on the stream, depending on if they if they fit the bill, right? If they fit the bill for the analysis that I'm providing for myself and for the community. I will be throwing in a couple of new indicators. One of those indicators is the Keltner channels. Another one is what is called the alligator indicator, Bollinger Bands. A couple of pretty simple indicators from my perspective. And yeah, I'm just rambling on here, so we'll go ahead, we'll continue. I don't know if you guys saw that. We'll go ahead and continue. We'll be looking at NASDAQ here, and as far as the indicators that I'm using are concerned for right now, I'm still vastly bullish on this. we're coming off a new all-time highs. A bit of a pullback would not be out of the question. Actually, seeing a test the yellow 21 moving average right now, bouncing off of that, I do like that. I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should move this down a little bit. Yeah. So technically we did see a dip and break below resistance, or excuse me, support yesterday, but we saw the bounce off the yellow 21 and a full recovery back above this, confirming it as of now. Maybe you wait for one more candle closure above this to confirm it as resistance. We are going to pull out the Fibonacci extension targets here, just because this is vastly relevant for an asset that continues to print new all-time highs here. We're going to go off the prior breakout point. We're going to go to this low right here. That works out just fine. The fact that we're closing above this moving average, this horizontal support region right here. Again, I want to see one more confirmation closure above that before I am confirmed. But if we do get confirmation as support upon this region here at the $14,910 region, I will be looking for moves all the way up to the 1.272 Fibonacci extension zone. That puts us somewhere around 15,005, right? I'm just going to round it up. I'm going to keep the numbers simple. 15,005 would be a general target for price action to move towards, again, upon confirming this closed above support here. We would get a confirmation. Outside of that, the 21 moving average is the one that I'm looking at right now. If we get two consecutive candle closures below the yellow 21 moving average, I will be primed. I will be inclined to open short positions. Again, what's wrapped around the 21 moving average strategy is, you get a breakout. You get two candle closures. You get a breaking candle above the 21 moving average, and then you get one open and one close above the 21 moving average, and boom, buy. Right? That's your signal, and quite the opposite for the downside. If I see the 21 moving average break, I'll be looking for another candle to close, right? An open and a closure below the 21 exponential here for confirmation of downside price action. This would be the first target to look out for, 14,570, give or take a few bucks, followed by the green 55. At the end of the day, if we do see price action take out the green 55, I'll be looking at the top side of this blue box here, this range area as the next tentative area of support to be tested. A little bit of hindsight trading right there, but just identifying a few potential targets for future price action. If we do see this curl to the downside a little bit, coming over here, checking out the RSI again, we got 1, 2, 3 stabs into the bullish control zone. All 3 stabs have been rejected, and I do consider both of them, well, except maybe except for this one right here. But at the end of the day, this structure here did fail, so I do count that as a failure, and another failure of the bullish control zone once again. Seeing the exponential also reject it and face negative once again as well. We are seeing a little bit of waning momentum here from the bullish perspective, so things to be aware of if we do continue to new all-time highs here, which would be this resistance here. Where's my horizontals? Going to put one right here because this is resistance as of right now. A candle closure above this region obviously implies a move to the 1.272 is more probable from my perspective. A break below this support level here, and then I'll be looking for this support level here. Play it level by level, keeping it real simple. I'm not trying to throw in any other indicators that I don't feel is necessary for my own strategies right now. And the 2 strategies that I am using, or 3 strategies I am using, obviously is horizontal support and resistance, 21 exponential moving average strategy, and the golden cross, death cross strategy, which clearly, we're in the precipice of a bull market here, a major bull market here, and I don't see any signs of that coming to an end anytime soon. So even a pullback to the green 55, maybe even lower to other moving averages, maybe even to the top side of this box, would not be out of the question, in my opinion. Again, only if those conditions are confirmed. However, for now, we are seeing price action above the prior breakout point. We are seeing a little bit of a test to support right now. Again, if we do get that candle closure, I am going to be looking for new all-time highs on this one. So that's where I'm going to leave NASDAQ. We'll go ahead and move on to SPY futures here. pretty much the same thing. This one basically just stair-stepping along the way. I'm not really looking for any major. I'm actually going to delete this box here because I don't think a box is actually relevant at the current moment in time. Just horizontal support and resistances are the main precipice for this one, just because none of this has actually been ranging. None of this has actually been ranging, and that's a very obvious sign for the bullish perspective here. Just stair-stepping our way up, putting in new all-time highs, back testing support, back testing the green 55, launching to new all-time highs. The way this one's structured right now, we're still closing candles above the L21 moving average here, so I am inclined to look for extensions here. We are going to go ahead and get a Fibonacci extension put on the chart right now, prior breakout point. Where do I go? Where do I go? Yeah, I think that one's relevant. I think that one's pretty relevant. Where did I go off of here? You know what? I'll go ahead and extend this to the upside here, and this is kind of where I'll put it right now. This is the current breakout point right now. Well, it's not a breakout point, right? It's resistance, but if it does flip to a breakout point, if we do see candles close above this region here, 42.20, I will be looking for extension again upon confirmation, right? I want to see a candle, break above, but I want to see a back test, confirm it as support before I'm confident for a move up to the 1.272 Fibonacci extension level, right? And that's just a general target again. An area of interest. Unless we decide, unless this asset decides to just skyrocket through it, that'll just be, a general target to be aware of. The 1.414 is not far off of it. It could be either one of those two, to be quite honest with you. But I would be more conservative and look for the 1.272 again upon confirmation of this region here breaking and confirming a support. For now, any kind of pullback to the green 55 would not be out of the question. It would actually provide the basis for a higher low structure. Just continuing that basis of that stair step, right? We see the new all-time highs, pull back to green 55, new all-time highs, pull back to green 55, new all-time highs, pull back to green 55. It's just kind of stair stepping its way on that green 55 all the way up within that region here. So very, very, very bullish still. There are a couple of indications of weakness, but nothing significant, nothing like a change of behavior. Do I have a long-term structure on this one? I did. I cleared all of my indicators, right? I cleared everything off the charts last night, so please bear with me while I remember to put in some trend lines here. This one's very relevant in my opinion. Long-term structure still remaining very, very, very strong in my opinion. We have not seen an actual break below this diagonal trend line to the upside, albeit we've seen a couple stabs below the 50 read here, but nothing too significant that signals, hey, we're looking for further downside continuation. More to the point, we're seeing a lot of support actually from an RSI perspective on this 50 read here. We're also seeing a lot of support up on that long diagonal uptrend line here. So again, I am more inclined to the bullish perspective than I am to the bearish perspective. We don't have any major signs of reversal. We don't have any any serious death dumps here. So from an RSI perspective, yeah, it is a little concerning that we continue to reject the bullish control zone, but at the end of the day, we're just basically consolidating between the 50 and the 65 read. So as long as RSI maintains that structure and price action continues to remain above the moving averages and continues to traject itself on a higher low, higher high structure, I'm going to be vastly bullish on this. Stochastics still in the critical zone here, showing a little bit of sign of weakness, like it wants to turn to the downside, but we do have a couple of trend lines to take into serious consideration here. First one being this one right here, right? We've got 1 stab, 2 stab, 3 stabs. We have a trend line. We also have this one here, 1 stab, 2 stab, 3 stabs. This one obviously a lot more sharp in hindsight, but it's still very valid, right? We got 1, 2, 3 stabs here. We also have 1, 2, 3 stabs here. So any kind of pullback, right? Any kind of significant momentum to the downside, I'd be looking at this diagonal trend line from a stochastics perspective as basically the first testy test area. If this does break, this will become irrelevant, and then this diagonal trend line will be the next target that I'm looking for, and that would be perfectly aligned, in my opinion, with a significant pullback to potentially the green 55. Right, seeing the price action pullback to the L21 might initiate that downside price action, or excuse me, that downside momentum action from a stochastics perspective, and a pullback to the green 55 likely touches the bottom side trend line, right? The bigger diagonal trend line, the longer term one. So, as far as this one's concerned, I'm still vastly bullish. I'm not looking for any kind of like extreme moves to the downside. Again, I could be proven wrong at any given time, at any given moment in time. So, you know, take it with hindsight, take it with a grain of salt. But that's kind of how I'm looking at this one. Obviously, looking for more, you know, more of a bullish, you know, perspective for right now. As God, this bull market has been going on. It feels like for an entire lifetime. So you know, the trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and I see no sign of the end of the trend here for SPY futures. Kind of the same perspective here. This one actually does have a little bit of a box. We'll actually go ahead and get Fibonacci extensions put on this formation right here. We'll actually go off the prior high, and we'll go to the bottom side of this box. Right, boom. That's my structure. So looking at this, obviously this, you know, this ceiling of resistance here, you know, very proven here. You know, we got a nice sharp wick up here. These candles aren't close enough in my opinion, but these rising candles here, definitely putting pressure on that ceiling of resistance, closing above all these moving averages right here. Again, I am still very bullish on this until proven otherwise. Seeing a little bit of price action pullback, test that 21 again. A nice little consolidation phase right now. You know, RSI is very telling of that. Again, seeing all these, you know, all these bearish divergence calls not really play out with extreme momentum. Not a bad signal for the bullish perspective. RSI still has a long-term bullish perspective here. Long-term diagonal trend line that is still very valid. Obviously, you know, less touches than I'm comfortable with, but it's valid. It's remained valid for quite some time now, and you know, anytime RSI comes down even close to this, could have been, you know, a pretty decent buy signal. That could have played out in your favor as far as profits are concerned. I need a drink of water. I'm gonna take some water. Oh, good God. All right, back to it. That's RSI. Let's see what else we're looking at. So yeah, I mean, you know, obviously this top side resistance. Maybe I could move this down a little bit. Maybe I could move that. Yeah, that's a little bit better here. You know, I want to try to be as accurate as possible, right? I want to take my time with this stuff. And I mean, we can see why this box is valid, right? We can see so many wick tests, right? So many tests, and then upon, you know, breaking above this region here, boom, right? First resistance, that's the top side of the box. And then we basically have been playing a range ever since. And technically the range is still valid until we either get a breakout or a breakdown. At the end of the day, if we do, you know, put a top here, I will be looking for, you know, somewhat of a test to the bottom side of the range. I mean, you could even say you can move the range up to this region here, and it would still be valid. We still have plenty of tests on this region, and, you know, breakout confirmation, right? We got the breakout candle here, back test to confirm support, boom, consolidation, boom. So, you know, it's all about perspective. It's definitely all about perspective. I'm more comfortable with this one right here, just because we have, you know, we have the whole formation within the box, and you know, any point inside this formation is a valid target upon any kind of pullback to the downside. Now, obviously, a break below the bottom side of the box here would be indicative of a much more colossal pullback. Obviously, testing, you know, specific levels along the way. Ooh, excuse me. You know, this could be a valid level here. This could be a valid level here. You know, I don't want to put too many. God, I get the hiccups when I chug water. Excuse me. I don't want to put too many. Horizontals on here for right now. But, you know, a break below this box here, you know, to the downside would be indicative of a much greater pullback all the way to the purple 200 moving average here. But, you know, on the flip side, any kind of break above this ceiling of resistance here, I will be looking for extension all the way to the 1.272 Fibonacci extension target, somewhere around $36,200, give or take, you know, 10 or 15 bucks. That would be the overall general target from my perspective if this thing decides to break to the upside. Stochastics deep in the bullish critical zone. So again, you know, more points for the bullish perspective here. I do like the critical control, and, you know, and a break above this resistance here, in my opinion, would be colossal. hustle at this point. Again, the only sign of concern is that we're seeing RSI cross back below that exponential here. And while is that negative? Is it a negative? It's technically negative. While it's technically negatively sloped, so it gives a little bit of a perspective for potential slight pullback. Again, nothing major, nothing crazy in the midst for Dow Jones right now. That's kind of how I'm looking at that one. And we'll go ahead and move on to Dixie. I don't even know if I redid my Dixie chart here, but we're gonna go ahead and look at it anyway. I did, and I didn't know how I should do it, which this isn't even correct. I'm gonna boom, get rid of that. But oh yeah, a little bit of a breakdown structure. We actually had a rising channel, and this one's actually playing out a little bit bearishly. Perspective is still macro bearish. I mean, the argument is definitely there that we have an uptrend, yes, but that's from an aggressive standpoint, and you guys know that I'm not an aggressive trader. I try to play as conservatively as possible, and for me to be convinced that this is an uptrend, I need to see a structural higher high. For now, this is a structural lower high that is continuing to play to the downside. Ooh, this is the level that we're looking at, right? Let's go ahead and... Is this the level? Yes, it's the level. Boom. We keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. Let's look for another potential target to the downside, right? Right smack dab. Is that valid? Is it valid? How many touch points do we have? Not many. Not many. Yeah, I'd say that somewhere around this region here would be a good valid target to the downside. It actually lines up pretty well with the purple 200 moving average here. I do like that confluence, but we do have a breakdown of this, this basically rising channel here, this rising parallel channel, and we have, our second. Oh, we're going for a second confirmation candle closure below that region, but from a 21 moving average strategy here, we got this closure here on the 26th. That's strike one, and then confirmation with a closure below it once again. This is an open and close below the yellow 21 moving average. Boom, short. I am going to be looking for price action to move all the way down to this support level here at 92.08. Potentially even today. We do have about 18 hours left in this candle right now. Any kind of candle closure below that region, I will be looking for a greater pullback to this support here at 91.71. Don't want to get too crazy with the hindsight trading, but I will identify a third potential level to the downside. Again, if we do see the green 55 break, it's not going to be very very good in my opinion, right? It's not going to be the greatest thing to see a golden cross fail. However, from the other perspective, this is a golden cross, and we could be just as easily looking into that pullback into the golden cross, right? And testing that region to see if it holds its support, right? Anytime we get a golden cross or a death cross, we always want to look for price action to pull into it and then confirm it by seeing if those moving averages support price action back to the upside. Any kind of candle closure and continuation below the purple 200 exponential here likely adverts that golden cross here and ends up being a false signal in my opinion. The fact that we are printing a structural lower high is not indicative of anything resembling health and fitness for this asset, but we do have significant cool down here on the stochastics, basically taking out all the lows, so that is indicative of continuation to the downside. RSI is also indicative of continuation to the downside. Multiple rejections of the negatively sloped exponential, multiple rejections of the bullish control zone. I've been mentioning that was a little concerning for quite some time. I do understand that the more times a resistance is tested, the weaker that resistance becomes, but I am starting to understand that from an RSI perspective, I guess it's a little different, right? This one had many chances to break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to see RSI and price action break into the bullish control zone, and all 5 times a rejection to the downside. Now we're seeing continuation as a result, and if we see, and I like this confluence, right? We're seeing the 50 read here on the RSI, almost in line with this support here. We likely get a read below the 50 read here upon any candle closure below this support level here, and from my perspective, per my trading rules, that is indicative of a short signal. I don't trade. I don't trade Dixie at all whatsoever. However, when I do see Dixie declining, my eyeballs go green as I am looking for positive price action, bullish price action on other assets. Bitcoin included, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, SPY futures. Excuse me, but for now we are seeing momentum push this to the downside. It's not the picture of health and fitness in my opinion, and especially if we see a major crash below the golden cross here, and the golden cross get basically inverted here. I'm going to be very convinced that we are just going to see a bearish downtrend continuation. It's not fucking bullish. We haven't seen a major change of behavior at all to convince me otherwise. Again, still, this is the level that I'm looking at for that change of behavior to be initiated here. A structural higher high is what I need to see confirmed, right? We need to see a break above this resistance at 93.30 and a back test to confirm it as support and continuation before I'm even remotely convinced that we are going to see macro trend reversal. For now, all we have is a series of higher lows without a series of higher highs in the overall scheme of this structure here. So seeing price action break to the downside is a little concerning for the US dollar index. That's kind of where I'm going to, you know what, let's talk about the conditions to the upside, right? I want to see price action back into this parallel structure here. If I see any candle closures above the yellow 21, I will obviously await for a confirmation open and closure above the yellow 21 before I am convinced that we are going to reclaim this parallel upside channel here. And if that condition is met, the channel will, the channel resuming is going to be my disposition, right? I'm going to wait for confirmation above the L21, and then my next target is going to be the top side of the channel, this resistance once again, and then I'll be looking for the channel to continue playing out. Now, yes, that would be more or less bullish, especially if we see the channel carry on to a new macro high, and then I would be switched from a bearish perspective to a bullish perspective long term. But we could very well be looking at a downtrend in progress right now. If we take out this low here, again, 92.08, that will be a new low confirmed on this structure, and that will be a daily change of behavior, and I will have no choice but to look for a backside test of this broken support to confirm it as new tentative resistance before looking for a move all the way back down below both of these moving averages to the next support. That's kind of how I'm looking at Dixie. We'll go ahead and move on. I did say I was going to throw in a couple of assets for analysis from now on. I know a lot of people have interest in the Hall of Fame. Which ones? Give me 1 second, guys. I did say there was a couple of stocks that I wanted to look at. Hall of Fame, MMAT, and AMC. Okay. So we'll start with the Hall of Fame first. Obviously, I am not fucking bullish on this at all. This box actually... perfect box, right? Perfect box, identifying a big range right here, and we're starting to see range, well, not starting, we're actually confirmed. We got this candle closure below right here on the 23rd, and then we got one candle to confirm as resistance, and now we're seeing continuation to the downside. Realistically, my next target is the top side of this blue box right here at $2.49. Any entry into this without it holding support, right? If we break this, come back, test it as resistance, and confirm it as resistance, I'll be looking at all the way down at the bottom side of the box over time at about $1.80. Very, from my perspective, again, I'm not trading this. I'm actually hoping that it falls because I want to scoop up as many of these stocks as I can, right? I want to own 10% of the whole company. I want people to call me and say, Brian, you're a big shareholder, blah, 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 blah. That's the goal, right? That's the dream, right? To be a major shareholder for an asset here. But as far as the analysis is concerned, right, we're starting to see the pinnacle of a potential death cross in formation on the daily. I wonder if we have a death cross on the 4-hour. We do have a death cross on the 4-hour chart here. Yes, technically we could see price action pump back into this box and test the 4-hour death cross, but it's death cross, right? And likely we see this reject here. From a daily stochastics perspective, we are deep deep in the bearish control zone and continuing to remain in the bearish control zone. We are seeing no attempt at an escape from the critical zone here. This is ultra bearish in my perspective. Not a good read from an RSI perspective. We have entered for the first time in quite some time back into the bearish control zone here upon confirming another lower high and a rejection of the negatively sloped exponential. So everything is lined up perfectly for more downside price action, especially because we got confirmation as this region here, $3.05 as resistance. I'm going to be looking for the next price action move over time to be about $2.50, and then we'll come back and reevaluate it from there. As far as the daily is concerned, again, yeah, we could see a price pump into the yellow 21 moving average, confirm it once again as resistance, but I'm not going to be convinced of anything until at least we're back above the green 55, heading towards the top side of the range. If we do confirm this region here, right, if we see price action break back above $3.05, back test it, confirm it as support, I'm going to be looking for the top side of the range overall to be my next target for price action, somewhere around $4.78, $4.80, give or take. Not going to be looking for new all-time highs again, because this would just add to the context of the daily range. But as far as price action is concerned, though, am I confident that that's going to be happening? No, I mean, momentum oscillators are getting absolutely shreked, and we're seeing RSI in the bearish control zone. We're seeing lower high after lower high, definitely in the context of a downtrend here. I do not believe that this wants to range any longer within this box territory. Down is my disposition for the Hall of Fame, and from my perspective, Tiz will be a great opportunity for buying this one up. Not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but that's kind of something that I'm preparing for. If I see ultra low prices on the Hall of Fame, I'm absolutely long-term bullish on the Hall of Fame, just because it's the freaking NFL, and the NFL is the American sport. So stock prices coming down for the Hall of Fame Village. I'm going to be swooping in and grabbing as many of those bad boys as I can. So that's going to be it for Hall of Fame. We'll go ahead and look at Mr. AMC. And what do we have here? Nice little box territory, right? Nice little box territory. We're seeing price action remain below the yellow 21 moving average here. I am not bullish at all on this. And to be quite blunt and to be quite honest, this move here was never bullish to begin with, right? Just because I'm now following the 21 moving average strategy. I want to see two candles. I want to see a break above, close, and an open and closure above the 21 moving average before I'm like, hey, yeah, we might have a chance to see the top side of the range, play out here. But as of now, tis a range in my opinion. We are still above this region here, so yes, a possibility of seeing a move all the way to the top side of the range is not out of the question. However, we do have an intermittent resistance here to conquer first and foremost, somewhere around the $43.60 region, right? I want to see price action take this resistance out, right? Candle close above it, open and close, back test, confirm it as support before I start targeting the upside move towards $64 here for AMC. On the other hand, if we see any kind of daily candle closure below $30.80, I'll look for a back test to confirm it as resistance before I'm looking for a move all the way down to this box here, somewhere around $14.90, right? Entry into this box, target's going to be $7.48. Entry in this box, in my opinion, completely destroys the bullish perspective. Again, that's just my opinion. It's all about how you perceive price action here. But coming over here, looking at the RSI for this one, we're seeing multiple rejections here. We're actually seeing two rejections of that 50 read after breaking below the 50 read. The exponential remains in a negative sloped fashion. Yeah, we do have a nice low. We have a little bit of rising low structure on the daily, but we are not seeing anything above a critical read that tells us that it should be a buy, right? So we got to play it with an air of caution, a side of caution here as far as price action is concerned, but we do see that 50 read is likely in line with a break above the yellow 21 moving average here. And again, if I see a break above the yellow 21 moving average, I will be waiting for an open and a full closure above it before I'm convinced that there is going to be further momentum within this price action here. Very simple stuff, in my opinion, for AMC. That's kind of how I'm looking at AMC. Patience. I'm actually just being patient. Again, I'm positionless on AMC except for the couple of shares that I'm kind of hodling long term. And for now, I'm just kind of being patient to see what the next move might be. That's AMC. MMAT, bad. MMAT is bad. not looking good at all. Breaking below this blue box here, I'm going to be looking for this region. And this box comes in from a while ago, seeing a lot of consolidation here in this box long term, and we do see this box as a critical level. Again, from my perspective, it is a critical level. We have a lot of price action history within this box here, so the fact that we are below the support of this box, now confirming it as resistance actually multiple times, my next target is going to be below. All the way down to $1.90 here. We do have an intermittent support to conquer first. If we do see price action confirm below $2.70, I will be full blown expecting price action to go somewhere around the $1.90 region. And on the other hand, if we do see a break above this box here, who knows what can happen, right? Who knows what can happen? We do have a couple of targets to kind of be aware of here. That would be my first target here, about $4.80. But we would have to see confirmation above the 200 exponential moving average first and foremost before I'm convinced of a test of the yellow 21. I don't want to go any farther than that. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up here for any bullish perspective. Again, until we see closure above $3.80, I am not going to be convinced of any kind of bullish momentum here or any kind of like macro low. Yes, we do have the potential to see it as a higher low structure. Again, we do have a low here. Here's your high, here's your low, here's your higher high, here's your higher low. So the context of bullish continuation to the upside is there, but we don't have confirmation just quite yet, right? We need to see price action continue above this box territory and confirm it as support before I'm convinced of any major potential to the upside. I need a drink of water. I do apologize. And more into the point, if I'm playing the 21 moving average strategy, I want to wait for an open and closure above the yellow 21 moving average, which is actually perfectly aligned with this resistance level here at $4.80. I would want to see price action come up, break it, again, back test it on the next candle, and close above it before I'm convinced of any kind of bullish momentum here. We do see stochastics here setting up. It is potentially setting up, but again, critical read right here. I want to see confirmation above the 20 read before I'm convinced that the bullish momentum is real. And same thing from the RSI. I want to see RSI break above that 50 read before it tells me, hey, this is a decent buy signal, you should buy it. I don't want to go against my edge. And I'm just waiting for an edge, right? I'm waiting for the edge to play out. We do have potential edge, but we have confirmation of nothing quite yet until we get confirmation above this region for a little bit of a pump up. But from a conservative standpoint, open and closure above this resistance here will convince me of bullish momentum, and that likely aligns with RSI breaking above the 50 and the stochastics breaking above the 20. So that's MMAT. Let's go ahead and move on to requests, and I think I have a couple of them tonight. Where is it at? General trend for AMC. We'll go ahead and touch up on AMC one more time because I didn't know. General trend, it's consolidating. From my perspective, this is just consolidation until proven otherwise. For AMC, for me to be convinced of uptrend continuation, I need to see closures above $44. $44, and then I'll be looking for a target all the way up to the top side of the box here, this resistance at 65.30. And quite on the opposite side, closures below the green 55, and I'll look for a test of the bottom side of the box here around $31, and any confirmation closures below this box, and there is a lot of open space before we see potential tests of support here. Obviously, the 200 exponential would be my first stop for a little bit of a bounce, but overall, if we break the bottom side of this box again, we want to see the candle break, close, and then an open, back test, close for confirmation before I'm going to be looking for the purple 200 exponential with a bounce, and then likely the top side of this box here. General trend, yes, technically is this little formation right here. We'll go ahead and zoom in on it. Technically, this little formation here is an uptrend, right? But a closure below the green 55 might negate that. A closure below the candle that opened and closed on the 27th. This red candle here, a closure below the open of that candle, or the close of that candle at 37.94, right? Closed 39.83. Any closure below there likely prints a lower high right here, and that would just provide the basis of consolidation, right? I don't really take confidence in looking at these tiny structures that have 1, 2, 3 higher lows, right? Or 2 higher lows, 1, 2 higher lows, and saying, oh yeah, this is a bullish uptrend, right? I want to see momentum, I want to see power, I want to see evidence, I want to see a footprint from something institutional telling me that this is going to continue to accumulate momentum to the upside. For now, it's consolidation. This little range here is consolidation, and until the consolidation breaks either to the upside or to the downside, I'm just going to be looking at this entire box overall as a range. So that's AMC. Let's go ahead and check out LCID. I do believe I've done that chart before, and I'm going to clear it. I am 100% going to clear it. Yep, clear it. Boom. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we have a clear range. We have a clear range, right? I'm going to go ahead and use my rectangle chart or rectangle indicator here to outline this range. Boom. Big consolidation, right? That's all I'm looking at it as, right? That's all I'm looking at it as. It's consolidation. Even if price action comes all the way down to the bottom side of the box, as long as we hold the bottom side of the box, it will remain consolidation. Yes, we are in the precipice. No, we're not. No, we are not. No, we are. Is this the one that I got confused on? Yeah, this is the one that I got confused on. Yeah, this is a downtrend. This is a downtrend here. Forming a lower high. Yeah, here's your high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Yeah, so we are technically in a little bit of a downtrend, right? But in the overall scheme of the entire structure, it's a range. It's a range. We hardly even have a 200 exponential moving average here. This thing is not even a year old yet, I don't think. September, right? Yeah, September 18th of 2021. This stock will officially be 1 year old. But the principles apply. I'll actually go ahead and lay out a little bit of a support level right here. And as of right now, I would actually be looking for a targeted move all the way down to 22 bucks. Coming over the next few days here, we are seeing stochastics start to curl over a little bit. That is not a good sign, in my opinion, for any kind of bullish momentum. That would actually be indicative of a rejection of the 50 read, which is ultimately bearish. RSI, again, a little bit of an uptrend, but nothing concrete, right? Nothing that's confident, right? It's an inconsequential uptrend, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, consolidation, right? We're just looking at a big consolidation period here, and we are seeing RSI break the exponential, forcing it to a slightly negative stature. What's more important is if we see a continuation below the 50 read here, alongside a candle closure below the green 55. But again, I am kind of looking for that right now with a move all the way down to 22 bucks after this top was called here. Any closure below that, and I'll automatically look for resistance test to the downside here. Maybe this region here, right along the 200 exponential moving average, somewhere around 19 spot 50, but ultimately at the end of the day, we could see continuation all the way to the bottom side of the range, and this range play out for a significant more period of time. But for now, that's kind of how I'm looking at this one. Consolidation, potential pullback, potential breakdown, and nothing too concerning unless we see a break below the bottom side of the box, right? The bottom side of the box is a critical level, and the top side of the box is a critical level. That's what I'm looking to trade from now on, are these critical levels. How does price action react off these critical levels, right? So for example, you could have major box based off this price action here. You got some support tests here, and then you get a shoot above the box, and then upon the first resistance here, you could have formulated this box and basically watched price action remain inside this box the whole time. Bottom side tests could have been great buys. Sell the green 55, buy the box. Maybe sell the green 55 or wait. But very, very simple stuff, right? I'm trying to simplify my analysis as much as humanly possible. I got 2 indicators, 3 indicators, couple moving averages, box territories that identify major lows, major highs. Those are what I want to be trading, right? Because look at this major low here. Say you bought at 17.25, right? And you already had this box laid out. You could have easily bought that and then boom, sold the resistance right here. For a juicy profit, it looks like if we do take a little bit of a measured percentage here, that's about 69%. Beautiful number, 69. But you get the gist. You get the gist, right? This is kind of the base of my strategy. I spent quite some time yesterday reevaluating and getting my shit together and coming up with a simplistic strategy that I could actually make solid, sound, confident decisions on without all that extra convoluted bullshit in the way. I want to identify major highs, major lows. Not all of the highs and all of the lows. Major highs and major lows. And as price action moves, I'll use my horizontal support and resistances to identify potential targets to the upside or to the downside. And that's it. And that's pretty much it. That's going to do it for LCID here. We're going to go long term for General Motors here. Let's take a look. Daily not looking too hot in my opinion. Daily is not looking too hot. We're actually going to clear it. And get a better perspective, get a better idea of what's really going on here, right? We got a lot of wicks down here. Boom, we have a box. We have a box, ladies and gentlemen. We have a box. Let's go ahead and get that bad boy in there. Let's go ahead and fine tune it. Ceiling of resistance. Hold on, free money. Do we play with the lower candle? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that looks good. That looks pretty good, right? Let's go ahead and find another one, right? But maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Actually, yeah. We can actually take this here. Yeah, that works. I want more touches, right? The more touches a support or a resistance has, the more relevant it is to price action. Boom. Let's zoom in on that. Let's confirm, right? Let's confirm. We got to take our time with this shit. We got to make sure it's correct. We got to make sure it's accurate. Yeah, that works. That definitely works. Okay. Good. Right? Okay. General Motors. So now he wants long term. Let's do the daily first. I'm actually going to be looking for much further downside decline here. This is the support that we're seeing price action testing right now. Price action is in the context of a downtrend. RSI has a negatively sloped exponential that we continue to reject on any prompt to the upside. Maybe we see a break finally right here, but if we don't break it, I'm going to be looking for more downside movements here. This is the support that I'm looking at here. Any candle closure below this $54 region here, I will be looking for a pullback all the way down to 49.30. But that's the daily. That's medium term here. He wants long term, so let's take a look at the weekly first. 2 weekly closures below the L21. Again, that's just perfectly indicative of a potential pullback to the bottom side of the box here around the weekly 55. However, we do have a golden cross here that is continuing to play out. It's got a lot of divergence here. Even a pullback to that green 55 would not be bearish in my opinion. Golden cross on the weekly is a hell of a fucking signal. We actually might be looking at bullish reset here. From a stochastics perspective, where are we at? Stochastics 43. Yeah, we're below the 50 read here, so definitely indicative of more price action to the downside. Maybe we see price action swoop all the way down here to the green 55 on the weekly. Again, that's around 49 bucks. We'll just call it 49 bucks. And that would still, in my opinion, remain bullish, but if we see weekly closures below the green 55 here, we're going to be looking at targets much lower, but most importantly, we'll be looking at this blue box more likely. We do have a support level here that is valid. It has a couple of touches here, plenty of touches on the weekly here, so that, this weekly support here is validated, but at the end of the day, close below that bottom side of this box here, purple 200 on the weekly is down here. We could easily see price action swoop all the way down to this price range here, longer term, unless price action closes back above the yellow weekly 21 moving average. If we do get that condition met, I have no reason not to think that the top side of the box would be the next move for this one. And are we looking at all-time highs? Yeah, we're actually playing on all-time highs here, technically, and bullish. Long term, I'm still bullish until specific conditions are met. Monthly, still bullish. Monthly is still bullish here. Continuing to close candles above the 21 moving average. We could see technically a monthly pullback all the way to this region here, the $44.59 region, and it would, as long as it holds a support, it would remain vastly bullish in my opinion. I do like the momentum here. This is just, girthy green dildos in your face. Love it. Gotta love GM. But I'm a daily trader. I love playing with the daily. The daily is hinting at a little bit more downside, to be quite honest with you, unless we confirm, a low and see continuation back to the upside. At the end of the day, this whole box, in my opinion, is within play. More to the point, the upper end of the box is in play. But when in doubt, zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. And we have a couple of specific levels for this asset that could be potential targets to the downside if we do see price action confirm, downside momentum. Stochastics on the daily, rejecting the top side of the bearish control zone, but starting to look weak again. A lower high would not be a good thing in my opinion, as likely we do see stochastics on the daily dip back into the bearish control zone, and once again from an RSI perspective, not looking healthy below that 50 read, confirming multiple rejections of the negatively sloped exponential. I take the exponential slope analysis very seriously. Do we have earnings coming up? We have earnings coming up on the 4th of August. So I'll be looking out for that earnings report and looking out for how price action reacts off of that earnings report. So yeah, I think that's going to do it, everybody. Is that all the requests? Yeah, that's it, you guys. If you guys like the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the new aged analysis that I am providing. Again, this is a change in my own strategy. I had to make a lot of changes. I had to make a lot of sacrifices. I got too tied into wanting to use a whole bunch of indicators all at the same time, when in reality I just need to use a couple. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Again, I might even simplify it further. I don't know how I'm going to do that just yet, but the plan's still there. The plan is to simplify and come up with a legitimate strategic game plan that is profitable long term. So again, hope you guys like the video, and I'll be back at it again tomorrow at the same time, roughly 12:45 in the morning. Technically, Friday morning, but it'll be my Thursday. But that's kind of the times that I'll get on. If anybody in the group chat has any questions, open up some technical analysis discussions. Just give me a heads up, and we'll chat it up, you guys. And until next time, stay